Today we'll be taking a look at the Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Sideswipe figure. Here we have him in his alternate mode, a red, dynamic, angular-looking sports vehicle of sorts. I'm a really big fan of this alternate mode. I really like how sharp the edges are, and I like the color scheme. I like the characters on the side. I'm a really huge fan of that. I just think it's a really great looking alternate mode. It's really appealing to me. Great color scheme, man. I think my one complaint with the alternate mode is the fact that it doesn't roll all that well, but that's purely because of the chest plate here for the robot mode being down here and interfering with the clearance of the tires. If you just snap that off, not snap it off, just pull it off, it's on a very not loose, but it's on a friction joint that has easy give. If you just take that off, the figure rolls perfectly fine. But I'm just going to leave that there for now. The figure does come with a weapon. The figure comes with a sword. And if you'll notice, the sword does have those edges around this portion right here. Those edges will plug into a divot here on the roof of the figure, right there on the top of the figure. And while some may question the validity of storing a sword on the top of a vehicle, I think it looks totally badass. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it looks very neat. I think it looks cool. But anyways, to begin the transformation, we'll go ahead and take the weapon off and store that to the side. We'll go to the top of the figure and separate the sides from the rest of the vehicle. Now we'll go ahead and separate the front portion as well, and that will allow us to bring the sides of the vehicle further out. Next, we'll go ahead and separate this portion back here. And I'm going to go ahead and, well, first I'll flip this up a little bit to give some clearance for the transformation. I'm going to take this portion right here and lift it ever so slightly. And then that will allow me to grab this side portion right here, and in a very pleasing, fluid fashion, that'll form the leg. It's nice. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the 2007 live-action Transformers film, the Camaro concept Bumblebee figure, and the Automorph that was featured in his legs. It's very nice and fluid and satisfying. I like it. But anyways, we'll do that to this side as well. And that will form the other leg. As for the feet, I try to find a sweet spot right there, and then I kind of just kind of maneuver the figure a little bit, find its sweet spot. Next, we will go ahead and lift this portion up a little bit to clear it from that back piece. And then that will allow us to lift it down a bit, or pull it down a bit. Here, we're going to go ahead and bring out the arms a little bit, and then maneuver these pieces right here in a very neat fashion as well. They're going to turn inward. So let's see if I can do that. Well, okay, so there. That'll maneuver around and stay up there. And that'll form like a collar of his, just like in the show. There we go. And then lastly, we're going to flip up this chest piece, and there are pegs right there, if you can see that, and right there where my thumb is on the right, that'll plug into holes right there and right there. And then there are divots right there and right there that'll plug into those tabs right there and right there. So that is meant to hold the entire torso of the figure in place in robot mode. That doesn't work out so well. This figure is notorious for having shoulders that just won't stay. But that is life, I guess. And there you have Sideswipe in his robot mode. Try and get that to stay. Okay. Again, he does come with a weapon. He comes with a sword, and he can hold that in either hand, sure, as one would expect, or the much cooler way for him to hold his weapon, there is a section right there at the top, and there's that tab right there. Now, if you take his weapon and face it just like I have right here, you can go ahead and store his weapon right in there, and it will sling across his back. And I think that's one of the coolest functions of weapon storage that I've ever seen in a Transformers figure. One of the coolest. And I just think that looks really neat. So, I mean, here you have Sideswipe in his robot mode. He does have the problem of his shoulders coming undone very easily if you toy around with his torso, even in the slightest bit. But really, besides that, I think he's an excellent looking figure in robot mode, in vehicle mode. I think he makes a really strong display piece. I don't think this toy, given his shoulder problem, is going to do so well with play value, because his shoulders will give out and it'll dismantle the robot mode. So I don't know if this toy is so great for children or people that like to play with their toys a lot, but it certainly makes a really strong display piece.